Hey, what's up, YouTube? I have the coolest Bible in front of the camera today. This is a Bible that's technically on loan to me. It is not part of my library. It was given to me just to peruse for a couple of weeks by a friend whose father was a pastor. And so what we're looking at here is an old mid-century Holy Bible, Scofield Reference Edition by Oxford Press in genuine leather with a whole lot of yap hanging over the edges. But what's really cool about this Bible is once we open it up and look at the unique inside. Now, the first thing you're going to notice is what in the world is this metal contraption that's right down the edge? Well, this is the genius of this Bible, and that it is an interleaved edition of the Scriptures. And the purpose of this edition is that you would be able to add your own sermons right into the middle of your Bible. And so you can actually unclip the whole Bible and you can add in blank sheets of paper like this one right here, where you could put your own sermon notes right in the middle of the Bible and move those things around. And so what we're looking at here is some of the old sermons of her father. Now, I just think this is the coolest in the world. Here's a sermon from Hebrews chapter 10, Hebrews 10, 24 and 25. And you can see he carefully typed out this sermon, and it has some red printing, it has some underlining, some personal handwritten notes in here. This is probably a sermon that he would have preached maybe over and over again if he was an evangelist or something, and he might want to preach this sermon on multiple occasions. He has it right here in his Bible. And so when I flip through, I can find several such occasions, a few blank pages still left where a sermon or notes never quite made it onto there. But flipping through, I can see several other places where he has these really cool homemade, home-written sermons that he's typed up and put into the Bible itself. So here in Isaiah chapter 57 or 56, 57:15, here's another hand-typed out sermon. It's got some errors and mistakes and some grammatical issues in there, but that's no big deal. That's his sermon, and the title is Eternity. And it goes on to several other pages. And this one looks a little bit even older, maybe one that he had in there even before, because the print and the typing is even older. But lots of space for notes. And so you could see that you could kind of build your own Bible the way that you wanted to. And all the preachers out there who subscribe to my YouTube channel, and there's a lot of guys in ministry subscribe to my channel because I talk about a lot of pastor type things, ministry things, books and Bibles and all that kind of stuff. You're probably drooling over this, and I am too. I'm thinking, where in the world can I get something like this today? To my knowledge, nobody is publishing a Bible exactly like this one. Now, this is an old school Scofield reference, but some of the old Bibles, man, the paper is so beautiful and thick. Now, it's obviously turned a little bit of a cream color due to time here. This Bible is pretty old, and we're going to go looking for the date here in just a minute or so. But there is zero ghosting. And when I say zero, I mean maybe 0.1% ghosting. Here I can barely see through in the back of the page right there. But this old-fashioned Bible paper, man, I don't know what kind of trees they were cutting down back in the day, but you can't see through this stuff. Even the best Bible paper today is going to have some ghosting and some see-through, but you get a hold of one of these old Oxford Scofield blocks, and man, the paper is just the bomb. Now, I'm not a Scofield fan. I'm Reformed, I'm Presbyterian, so I'm not a dispensationalist. And here you can see in the Scofield Bible, you get into some of these apocalyptic sections of like Daniel, for instance, and all of a sudden you have tons more notes than it does throughout the rest of the Bible. The Scofield reference definitely skews dispensational in its theology, and it definitely skews apocalyptic in terms of its content of notes. Look at this, Daniel 10, it's almost half notes here. But most of the rest of the Bible is not like that. The notes are far, far fewer. If you've ever gotten a hold of a Scofield before, you've probably noticed that most of the notes are in the books of Revelation and so forth. A little fragment there. If you ever look through old Bibles, sometimes you find out things about people, newspaper clippings of things that were important. Here's another one of his sermons from Joel. Man, this one must have been preached a few times. It's got quite a few different notes in different colors. Now, maybe he was color coding a system there, but maybe he preached a sermon several times. I don't know. But the more I go through this Bible, the more I'm intrigued by some of these old sermons. This one here is just multiple pages. It's called Why Be Saved. Definitely sounds like a good old-fashioned revival, tent revival sermon. It goes on page after page here, probably 10, 12, 15 pages. It includes some hymns. Oh my goodness, this thing is huge. What is this? Maybe this must be multiple sermons here that he has readied up and underlined. Here's one that's handwritten. My goodness. Okay, and so you get to the New Testaments and find some more interesting stuff. Look at this. Here's a card. Here's the preacher himself. This is him, Marion Fultz. That's the name in the front of the Bible. And here, the camp meeting, Tuscarora camp meeting, July 16th to question mark. Who knows how long the revival is going to last? Could be weeks. 1965 is the date. So what an interesting little find there. It gives you a clue about who this preacher was. Wonder if we could Google him, see if we could find out more about the Reverend Fultz. Now here's some notes that have been taped together. These look like something has been cut out of another book or another Bible or something, study Bible maybe. Cut it out and he taped it together and put that in. Now let's go back and have a look here at the construction of this Bible. So this is bound together by this metal arrangement here, and I'm terrified to open this up because I don't exactly know how to do this. I think it has to do with this clip right here, maybe sliding or turning this. Maybe somebody could tell me who knows how to do this. Maybe it has to do with detaching it right here. I'm afraid this thing's just going to shoot open and all the paper is going to shoot out, and I do not want to mess this up because I have to turn this Bible back in to the owner. But what a gorgeous Bible. I mean, this would be your one and only Bible because you'd have all your stuff in this one right here. This is great. The leather still holding up. It says it's Morocco leather here. There's a name, Marion Fultz, that we found earlier from Grove Mills, Pennsylvania. And I'm looking for a date in this Bible. We know it's a Scofield, so we know it's early 20th century. This is maybe one of the first or the second printings of this book. But I don't see... here we go. Okay, so the early copyrights were 1909 and 1917, but it was renewed again in 37 and 45 by Oxford University Press. So it's sometime after 1945. But what a great family treasure this is. What a great legacy of faithfulness. Wouldn't you like to read all Grandpa's sermons? Or some patriarch in your family who's a minister, and here you have his Bible. Beautiful Bible. Legacy of grace. Well, I'm thankful to the person who loaned this to me, and I wish I could link to some similar Bibles today. Probably the closest thing you can get to this would be your regular wide margins, where you can take a lot of notes and put some sermons in the pages, or the Interleaved Jonathan Edwards Bible that's produced by Crossway, and I'll put a link to that. Now, it's not the same thing because you can't take it apart and move the pages around, but an interleaved Bible like the Jonathan Edwards Bible done by Crossway is going to get you the same kind of concept of being able to put your personal notes and sermon illustrations under one cover. So I'll post a link to that in the description, but unfortunately I cannot post any links to anything as beautiful as this. Maybe you can find one online on eBay. Check you later, man. Thanks.